Hello guys, and welcome back to this amazing channel, crackDSA. So guys, today we are again back with our next day of this LaunchPadx, and guys, today our topic is going to be functions and recursions. That is going to be our topic for today. Okay, so let's see what are the important points that are required for function, what are important points of recursion that we will use. Guys, recursion is a very important topic. The reason is that recursion is the prerequisite of backtracking and dynamic programming. So if you know recursion, then only you can do backtracking and dynamic programming. So recursion is very important to be understood. Okay, great. So guys, first of all, please confirm if I'm clearly audible and visible to you all, so that we can continue the class. Am I clearly audible and visible to you all? Please continue. Please confirm. Fine. I'm not like seeing anyone's respond here. Okay. Yeah. Hi, good evening, Hers, good evening, Sneha, good evening, Shruti, good evening, Vaghela, good evening, Kanchan, Aesthetic Me, Om Prakash, Karthik, Surya, Akash, Karthik, Bharat, Hers, Arju, Om Prakash, Ayush, Rohit, good evening, guys, everyone. So, good evening, Yatin. Great, guys. So, let's start now. I think that we are good to go. So, guys, our topic for today is like going to be recursion, function, and recursion. Okay, and that is a quite important topic for today. So, first of all, we'll start with the what is a function, and then we'll talk about that what is recursion. Okay. Okay, Rohit, I will try to add resources for Python also. So I will also add that resource. That's perfectly fine. Okay, that's not the case. I will add that resources. Okay, great, guys. So let's start with the point that we are going to discuss today. Let me share the screen and let's start today's class. So okay, so I hope that the screen is also visible to you all. So now let's start today's class. Guys, the first thing that we have to learn about is function. And then we learn about recursion. Guys, function and recursion both are important. Okay. First, let's talk about function. So, guys, what is a function? Like, if you like, don't think about coding function. Just if you will understand function in general. So, what is a function? A function is something that takes a input, and gives a output. That is what function is. Okay. A function is something that takes input and produces output. Let's say if you talk about mathematical function. Okay. Let's say I'm saying fx is equal to x square. So what does it mean? Let's say I'm giving the value x to this function as 6. Tell me guys, what will be the output? Anyone? What will be the output? Output will be x square, means 36. So function is something that takes the input and produces the output and performs some operations in it. Perform some operations in it. Guys, please be interactive and please reply everyone, okay? That's very important. Okay, that is what we have to do. Okay, great. Now, guys, the next part, the very next part that we have to focus here is hi, Vishakha, hi. Okay, the very next part that we have to focus here is that how we write function in our coding. So, guys, if we talk, I'm not about Python, I will talk about C++ and Java. So, first of all, that is required very much for a function is its return type. Return type. What is a return type? Return type means ki what the function is returning, what type of data the function is returning. That is what the return type of a function is. Then we have the function name. Function name means obviously the name of the function. Okay. Then guys, we have some parameters. Then we have some parameters of the function. Then we have some parameters from this particular function. Okay. Great. Now, guys, after that, what we have? Parameters are basically the input. Parameters are nothing but the input. Then we perform some operations on it. And then we return some output. Return some output. That is what a function is. Let's say I'm talking about a function which is adding two numbers. Add two numbers. And return their sum. Basically, I'm saying you have to add two numbers and you have to return sum of the numbers. Like the input that this function is taking is A and B, and the output will be the sum of the numbers. Okay, so how we will write? So tell me guys, let's say I'm taking two integer numbers, int A and int B. So their output will also be int. That's the first thing. So what should be the return type? Tell me. What should be the return type? The return type should be of that sum that we're returning. So return type क्या हो जाएगा? Int हो जाएगा. Guys, there are some functions where we don't return anything. That is called void. Let's say we are printing or we are doing anything. Okay, it's int. Then we will write the function name. So function name is, let's say, add. Add is the function name. We are adding the numbers. Okay. Now the two parameters. Parameters क्या क्या है? A and B. These are the two parameters. After that, what we have to do? We have to just print, find the sum and return the sum. That's all. We have to just find the sum and return the sum. Okay. Got it? That's the basic thing, guys, what we are doing here. That's the basic thing that we are doing here. So you the function, okay? Now, guys, let's not talk about it. What is recursion? Okay, recursion क्या होता है? The very basic meaning of recursion अगर हम बात करें, if you will search it on internet, तो क्या होगी? So if you will search about recursion on internet, the very basic meaning that you will get it, function calling itself. So guys, when we have to repeat a particular operation again and again, then the recursion is used. So before talking about recursion, let's talk about something called loop. तो हम सबने loop पढ़ी है. We all have learned about loops. What are loops? So like loops is something. Let's say we have to. Let's say I'm saying we have to print hi 5 times, or let's say I'm saying we have to print numbers from 1 to 5. I have to print numbers from 1 to 5. So what I will do? I will take a loop from 1 going up to 5 and I will move forward. I will move forward. Okay. And then I will simply print that number. That's all. This is how the numbers from 1 to 5 will be printed. But now, guys, let's see how we can write the same thing. How we can perform the same thing in recursion. The same चीज recursion में कैसे हो सकती है? Let's talk about that. So for recursion, guys, first of all, we will have a function. First of all, we will have a function. Okay? Good evening, Aditi. So in this function, what is the return type? So what we are returning? We are not returning anything. We are just printing the values. Na? सो प्रिंट करने के लिए क्या होगा, रिटर्न टाइप void. Okay, after that, you can see guys, let's a function name is print. Now tell me guys कि इस लूप में क्या क्या है, how many variables are present in this loop. In this loop, how many variables are present? There is only one variable which is I. Okay, I is there. So I will have that same parameter here also. Okay. Now, till when this loop is running? This loop is running till I is less than equal to 5. So guys, in recursion, we have a base case and we have a recursive case. What's the recursive case? Just like you can see guys, just like you can see here, key in a loop, what we have? In a loop, we have two things. The first is the initialization, means the input, basically, the input which is given. Okay, that's the initialization. After that, what we are having is the point, the condition where that particular loop will stop. The condition where that loop will stop. And third one is the updation. Third one is the updation where that particular loop will be there. Third is the updation part. Okay. तो हमारे पास क्या क्या है? We have a condition and we have a updation. We have a condition and we have a updation. Is it clear? Fine. Great. Now the next point, guys. The next point. The next point that we are having like from here is ki how we can implement this thing here. So like first of all, we have a base condition. Base condition means when my recursion will stop. And then we have a recursive condition means how the updation will be done. तो मुझे बताओ, tell me one thing, when this loop is stopped, at what value of I loop will be stopped? Tell me this thing. Or I can say till where this loop is running. Till where this loop is running. So you can see that this loop is running up to, no, it's not when is y equal to 5. It's exactly Sarthak. This loop is running up to 5, less than equal to 5. So means when this value of I will become greater than 5. So क्या करना है? Then I will stop this function. And guys, to stop a function, we have to return from that function. To stop the function, guys, we have to return from that function. And to return, we have the return messages. Got it? Is it fine? Great. चलो अब आते हैं आगे. Now let's see the next part of the question. The next part, okay, guys. The very next part that we are like having here is recursive part. तो हमें क्या करना था? What was the operation we were doing in this recursion? Operation क्या था that we were doing in this recursion? Operation was we were printing the value of I. Operation was we were printing the value of I. So I will simply print the value. अब बताओ next क्या करते थे? We again call the same thing. We again do the same thing, but I plus plus was there. Means I जो है वो increase हो जाता था. So I will again call the function print, but the value of I will be increased. But the value of I will be increased. Is it fine, guys? Clear? So the exact thing what this loop will do will be done by this function. जो ये loop करेगा, the exact thing will be done by this function. कैसा है? Got it? Recursion समझ में आ गया? Everyone, just write a +1. फिर हम इसको implement भी करते हैं. Let's implement also and let's understand it more clearly. Okay? Okay? Great. तो देखो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? This is the ID. In this same ID, I will do the same thing that we are doing. Okay? I will do the same thing. देखो I will create here like the same function. So like void, the name is print. Okay, the name is print. And guys, let's say यहाँ पर क्या था? Here I was saying print up to 5. Print up to 5. अब let's say we have to print up to n, तब क्या होगा? Let's say I'm saying print up to n. तो क्या changes होंगे बताओ? What changes will be there? Tell me. First of all, I will add a parameter int n here in the input. And secondly, my loop will not work up to 5, it will work up to n. So like whenever my I will become greater than n, I will return. Okay, simple. Whenever my I will become greater than, because I have to go up to less than equal to n. That's all. That's all. Okay, so you will see here, if I will write like int I and int n, okay, and the base case that we're having is that if my I will become greater than n, because I don't want to print values greater than n, I just want to print values from 1 to n, so I will return. And else the recursive case kya hoga? What will be the recursive case? The recursive case will be I will print it and I will call for the next value. Got it? And then in the main function, what I will do, I will call this function print with the initial value of I and n. Let's say I'm saying n is 10. So सबसे पहले क्या होगा? From 1 to 10, the values will be printed. You can see when I'm giving here, like okay, I think name space नहीं लिया है, so using name space. Oh yeah, thanks Shivam, thanks. यहाँ पे I+1 comma n भी है. You have to also pass n. Thanks for it. Yeah, you can see values from 1 to 10 are printed. ठीक है? Values from 1 to 10 are printed. So इतना सबको clear हो गया? This much part of recursion is clear to everyone. Tell me. Okay, great. So amazing. अब देखो एक चेंज लाते हैं. चेंज ये है कि व्हाट इफ हम प्रिंट बाद में करें एंड पहले रिकर्जन कॉल कर दें. आई एम फर्स्ट हैविंग द रिकर्जन कॉल एंड आई एम प्रिंटिंग आफ्टरवर्ड्स. अब क्या होगा? Here we will understand the concept of recursive stack. Exactly, in reverse order. Great. So guys देखो ये कॉन्सेप्ट क्या होता है. ठीक है, लेट्स से गाइस कि मैंने यहां पर प्रिंट ऑफ 1,5 कॉल कर दिया. ठीक है, सो लाइक आई विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 1 and will go up to 5. I have called this thing. Okay, now if I is greater than n, it will return. That's fine. So वो क्या होगा? सबसे पहले very first part what happens? Very first part is कि print of 1 will be called. Print of 1 का recursion call होगा. Okay, ये बताओ जब print 1 है और आपका n की वैल्यू दी गई है 5, i की वैल्यू 1 है. ठीक, i की वैल्यू 1 है, तो क्या ये कंडीशन ट्रू होगी? क्या 1 5 से बड़ा है? Is 1 greater than 5? No, this condition will not be true. Then what will happen? Is it will go to this part, the next part. In this particular part guys, what will happen is कि वो print of 2 के लिए कॉल कर देगा. It will call for print 2, i+1 हो जाएगा. But this condition will remain as it is. This will be left over. ये रह जाएगी लास्ट वाली कंडीशन. सो ये जो लास्ट वाली कंडीशन रह जाती है, क्योंकि अगर नया रिकर्जन कॉल हो गया तो ये रिकर्जन खत्म हो गया, वो कॉल हो जाएगी, फिर जब वो कॉल कंप्लीट हो जाएगी तब ये रिकर्जन कॉल होगा, खत्म नहीं होगा, मतलब इट विल बी इन वेट। सो वो हम लोग यहां पर लिख देंगे। अब जो जब प्रिंट ऑफ टू हुआ, सो प्रिंट ऑफ टू के लिए सी आउट टू भी यहां पर आ गया, फिर सी आउट थ्री भी आ गया, देन सी आउट फोर, देन सी आउट फाइव। जब आपका आई की वैल्यू 6 हो गई, सो ये रिटर्न कर जाएगा। एंड व्हेन योर फंक्शन रिटर्न, सो आपकी सारी वैल्यूज एक एक करके सबसे पहले क्या प्रिंट होगा, 5, देन 4, देन 3, देन 2, देन 1। सो रिवर्स ऑर्डर में इट विल बी प्रिंटेड, इट विल बी प्रिंटेड इन रिवर्स ऑर्डर। गॉट इट? या सो ये आपका स्टैक है। गॉट इट गाइज एवरीवन? ठीक है, इट वॉज क्वाइट कॉम्प्लेक्स। देखो अगर मैं यहाँ क्या करूंगा, कुछ नहीं, यहाँ पे मैंने इस वाले कंडीशन को इसके नीचे रख दिया एंड रन कर दिया। यू कैन सी द थिंग्स आर नॉट डन इन रिवर्स ऑर्डर, द थिंग्स आर नॉट डन इन रिवर्स ऑर्डर। गॉट इट? So guys, this was the concept of recursion that should be there. So recursion is like very advanced also. जब हम लोग DB पढ़ेंगे, backtracking पढ़ेंगे, dynamic programming, backtracking. So at that time we will learn recursion in more better way. Okay, for now like we are not doing that. Also we will solve some problems from lead code and GFG. Okay, so problem solve करें, +1 everyone. Let's solve some problems. Great. So I'm not getting, like the tag is not there क्या recursion का? By the way, it should be there, but हाँ है ये रहा. So great. Guys, Tower of Hanoi is an important concept of recursion. So Tower of Hanoi की I will upload the video, okay, that you guys can see, okay. So उसके I will try to upload a video, okay, because it's a quite complex thing. ठीक है. I'm just getting that Fibonacci number. No, not Fibonacci. Yeah, Fibonacci numbers. Let's see. So you can see, guys, here. You can see here. There's a something called Fibonacci number. Okay, that we will solve here. So, guys, what is a Fibonacci number? I think it will give. It is a dynamic programming. Okay. Let's do this one also. Okay. Guys, the problem is Fibonacci number. Okay, for like this is a very basic question, very beginner phase question that we are solving. Okay, so like starting we are solving the easy problems. Like as we'll go on, we'll also solve some more problems. Okay, that's completely fine. So the problem is nth Fibonacci number that we have to solve. Okay, the Fibonacci series, guys, is something like this. Let me see. Yeah. Fibonacci in recursion is time consuming. We have to memorize it, or we have to do it using loops. Okay, but let's see. Okay. So let me just see, like 2 is 1. Okay, 5 is 5. Okay. I think they are doing like this 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. So guys, what happens is that there's a series called Fibonacci series. I hope that everyone knows. Okay, for those who know, they can have a revision. It's called a Fibonacci series, guys. What Fibonacci series says, कि a number, the nth number of Fibonacci is the sum of previous two numbers. Like the nth number of Fibonacci is the sum of previous two numbers. Okay, that is what is given. So let's say I'm saying कि the first two numbers आपको दिए होते हैं. So let's say I'm saying the zeroth number of Fibonacci, the zeroth number is 0, and first number of Fibonacci is known as first. So zeroth number is 0, first number is 1. Now what will be the second number? So guys, the second number of Fibonacci series will be the add of the previous two numbers, means 0 plus 1. So it will be 1. Next will be 1 plus 1, 2. Okay, 1 plus 1, 2. Then 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 5, 13. 21. 34. And 55. And 89. I hope I haven't done any mistake here. I hope it was right. Like, please check, guys, if my series is right. I think so. Okay, great. So like this is called zero Fibonacci: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11. So like what they're asking is, guys, what they're asking is, they're asking from you. They're asking from you is that tell them the nth Fibonacci number. Nth Fibonacci number. What is the nth Fibonacci number? So guys, nth Fibonacci number is something that is like quite important also. Let me tell you about that. What is nth Fibonacci number? Guys, इसमें होता क्या है कि let's say they are saying n is 7. So you have to tell the 7th Fibonacci number. तो क्या है बताओ 7th Fibonacci number? It's 13. That's a simple question. आपको एक पूछा जाएगा, आपको बताना है कि उसका corresponding Fibonacci number कौन सा है. So like see how you will solve this in recursion. So guys, if I'm asking you, let's say you don't know the recursive this particular thing. If I'm asking you कि what is the 7th Fibonacci number, तो आप क्या बोलोगे? Let's say this series is not written here. ये नहीं लिखी यहाँ पर. Then what you will do? What you will do? You will say कि 7th Fibonacci number is the sum of the previous two, the sum of 6th plus sum of 5th. That is what the 7th Fibonacci number is. Last दो को sum कर दो and it will be the 7th. That's what we will do. Okay, great, amazing. Similarly, if I will ask you that what is the nth Fibonacci number? So for nth, you will add f of n minus 1, f of n minus 2. So let's say I'm saying you have to add two Fibonacci numbers. Sorry, you have to find nth Fibonacci number. So the function you are having is like this. Int means return. Okay, return what? You have to return the nth Fibonacci number. Nth. Okay, so you will write a function fib of n, like int n. देखो अच्छा बेस केस क्या होगा? What will be the base case? What will be the base case? देखो बेस केस क्या होगा? आपको पता है फर्स्ट टू नंबर्स यू नो कि जो जीरो फिबोनाची नंबर होता है वो क्या होता है? 0. और जो 1 वो 1, मतलब 0 वाला 0, 1 वाला 1. So I can write if n is less than 2, so return n. Means if n is 0, return 0. If n is 1, return 1. So if n is less than 2, return n. That's all. Else what I will do in the recursive case, what I will do, key, I will return fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. That's all. Okay, that is the very basic thing that we will do. Okay, so guys, इस तरह से this is how we will be doing this particular whole problem है. Okay, अब देखो ये इसकी अगर हम बात करें तो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बहुत है. Like if I will run this code here ना in this portal, so it will give you TLE because the time complex is order 2 to the power n. I will tell you why. इसलिए मैं इसको सबमिट नहीं करूंगा, बिकॉज देयर इज अ लाइक मेमोइज अप्रोच और एक आइटरेटिव अप्रोच भी जो आपका होमवर्क है, सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम. ओके, दैट्स योर होमवर्क, सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम. ओके, दैट्स ऑन यू. But if you will see this thing, if you will see this thing, so like we have multiple parts here to consider. Okay, so like if you will see here, like अगर हम बात करें फिबोनाची 7, so फिबोनाची 7 के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? For Fibonacci 7 we have to call for Fibonacci 6 and Fibonacci 5. For 6 I have to call for Fibonacci 5 and Fibonacci 4. Here also Fibonacci 4 and Fibonacci 3. Then Fibonacci 4, Fibonacci 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1. Okay, this is how this code will run. Got it? This is how this code will run. So you can see कि each value is calculated multiple number of times. Fibonacci of 4 4 बार calculate हुआ, 1 2 3 times. Fibonacci of 3 is multiple time calculated, 4 times. So each value is calculated again and again. To reduce this thing, DP is used, जो हम लोग आज नहीं पढ़ेंगे. So guys, अगर आप देखोगे, so in every recursion call, अभी we will have a dry run, Anil, we will have a dry run, don't worry, okay, we will have a dry run. If you see guys, हर recursion call में कितने recursion call हो रही हैं? In every recursion call, we are having two functions, two times, ना? दो recursion call. In every recursion call, we are having two calls. Yeah, I am explaining the complexity. In every recursion call, we are having two calls. Okay, so like tree-like structure will go like this. This is how the tree will go. So initially we are doing one operations, then we are doing two operations, then we are doing three operations, then four, three, then four operations, then 8 operations, then 16 operations, till when it will go. Like till the point it will go, it is a time complexity. Time complexity क्या होती है? Time complexity is nothing but number of operations we are doing. Time complexity is nothing but number of operations we are doing. Okay, that's what the time complexity is. So let's say I am saying that this will go up to, let's say I am saying this will go up to here. So in every recursion call, two operations are called. In every recursion call, two recursion calls are called. एक ट्री बन रहा है. And ये recursion call कितनी बार होंगी? How many times this recursion call will be done? N times. This will be done n times. Means 2 into 2 into 2 up to n times. So overall 2 to the power n is the time complexity. So guys, ये बात आप याद करो. There is a trick to understand time complexity of these functions. If there are two recursion calls, means 2 to the power n. If three recursion calls, 3 to the power n. As it is, it will increase. Only one recursion call means order of n. Like it based on a value n, x or whatever. Okay. So that's the basic thing that we are having. Because a tree-like structure will be formed. Okay. And if I will like simply talk about the, like if I will simply talk about what is the height of a tree. So you will say height of a tree is log base to n is equal to k. So like time complexity to the power a k. So it's quite complex, by the way. Okay. ठीक है. Let's have a dry run. Let's have a dry run of this part. Let's have a dry run. Time complexity मैं एक बार फिर से explain कर दूं क्या? See, whenever we are having two recursion calls, so it's mostly 2 to the power n. Okay, that's a trick. I will not say that this is the exact solution. The reason being, guys, we have n calls, and in each call we are having two calls, so that will be multiplied. Got it? A tree will be created. That first, then two, like what? See what will happening. पहले एक कॉल, एक का दो हुआ, दो का चार, चार का आठ, आठ का 16. So अगर n times जाएगा ये, if it will go n times, so means 2 to the power n. Got it? एक बार 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3. Total operation 2 to the power n. Yeah, recursive has always high complexity. Recursion have, yeah, like not every time. Something is called linear recursion. जैसे कि आप यहाँ की बात करोगे, if you will see here, ज्योति, अगर आप यहाँ पे देखो, so here only one recursion call was done. सिर्फ एक रिकर्जन कॉल थी, दिस वन. So because there was only one recursion call, it was simply order of n. So it is simply just like this loop has order of n. This is also having order of n. Okay, this is also having order of n. But if we talk about here we are having two recursion calls. Because of two recursion calls, a tree-like hierarchy is formed. A tree-like hierarchy is formed. Okay. Yeah, if we consider zero as base case any, the time complexity will not increase. So in mostly cases, recursion has the greater time complexity. And देखो उसका रीजन है यू विल सी हियर ना कि एक वैल्यू एक पॉइंट की वैल्यू बार बार पूछी जा रही है. ओके, यू कैन सी 7 इज, यू कैन सी हियर कि फिबोनाची ऑफ 3 की वैल्यू कितनी बार कॉल हुई है. कई बार कॉल हुई है, 1 2 3 4 5. मल्टीपल टाइम द सेम वैल्यू इज बीइंग कॉल्ड. Multiple times the same value is being called. So if the same operation is doing multiple times, the time complexity increases. Okay, is it clear? Fine. Jyoti, Kunal, why only 56 people watching? Vivek, I think like no one is interested in learning. Oh, starting 1 2 days are only there. So let's see. Sir, how log of n time complexity comes? How log of n time complexity comes? Okay. So see, log of n is mostly, see देखो आप एक चीज देखो, विवेक सी वन थिंग, आप यहां पे देखो, इन एवरी रिकर्जन कॉल एक का दो हो रहा है ना. In every recursion call, each recursion call is making two recursions, a tree like structures. जहां भी ऐसा होगा, it will be 2 to the power n. And when the value will be decreased, when the value will become n, then n by 2, n by 4. जैसे कि बाइनरी सर्च में क्या होता है, इन बाइनरी सर्च व्हाट हैपेंस कि साइज ऑफ द एरे डिक्रीजेस, साइज ऑफ द एरे डिक्रीजेस. सो गाइस इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस, इन दैट बाइनरी सर्च, वहां पर क्या होता है, इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस when we are having the binary search, size decreases, and when size decreases guys, वो होती है log of n. And decreases how? It becomes half. N by 2, n by 2, n by 2 means log of 2n. Let's say n by 3, log of 3n, like that. Okay, so let's have guys, let's have a separate class for time complexity and space complexity. But guys, please join the class. Like as I can see, very few people are joining. Like we also need some motivation for this thing, for organizing these free boot camps. Guys, 13th, like announcement for you all. 13th of April ko Sandeep sir will be taking a session. So actually it's a offline session, as we are organizing this boot camp in multiple college in offline mood also. Okay, so this is going to be a offline session in HBTU Kanpur, that will be live telecasted in this crack DSA YouTube channel too. So 13 April, 4 p.m. mark the date. Sandeep sir will be live on this channel. Okay, great. So just give me 1 minute, okay? Just give me 1 minute. Recursion is efficient for hierarchical data structures. Yeah, exactly. How does it return value when call a function of n? Okay, Vishnu, I'm having a drive, okay? हाँ साक्षी, that can be the reason, that can be the reason. But like हमारे कॉलेज में फेस्ट चला, अगर आप एचबीटी से हो साक्षी, तो हमारे कॉलेज में फेस्ट चला, बट बाकी कॉलेज में फेस्ट नहीं चल रहा है आई थिंक. और तो आई थिंक बच्चों को आना चाहिए, लाइक बट ठीक है, इट्स फाइन. सो जस्ट गाइस, जस्ट गिव मी 2 minutes, ओके? Okay guys, एक बार just give me 2 minutes, okay? फिर let's have a dry run of this thing, okay? Let's have a dry run of this particular part, okay? Dry run कर लेते हैं हम लोग. Got it? Great. Great. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. So next, guys, let's have a dry run. Ki how this particular is working, like how this particular whole function is working. So let me write the function again here in a clear manner. Okay, and let's see how it is like basically working and doing the stuff here. So you can see, guys, here what is happening is ki we are having something like this. Okay, we are having it like this. We are having void. Sorry, int function int n. So like if n is less than like less than 2, I am returning n. Else what I am doing, I am returning the value of function n minus 1 plus function n minus 2. Okay, great. So now see the part. The thing here is, guys, the thing that we are having here is, अब इसको देखते हैं dry run कैसे हो रहा है, ठीक है? So guys, what will happen is, first of all, let's create a recursive stack. Let's create a recursive stack. Okay, see. So let's say I'm calling this function for fun 5. मुझे निकालना है what is the fifth Fibonacci number. Fifth, okay. First of all, function of 5 के लिए recursion call जाएगी. Now guys, tell me what will be the next part of function of 5. When I will call this recursion call for 5, so क्या होगा? It will be here. It will be here. Will this condition be true? क्या ये condition true होगी? नहीं. This will not be true because n is 5. n क्या है? 5 है. ठीक है? अब नीचे गया. तो क्या करेगा? वो क्या करेगा? Function of 5, what it will do? Like I will do it like this. So when I've called for function of 5, so function of 5 will call for function of 4 plus function of 3. It will call for function of 4 plus function of 3. अब देखो, मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूं function of 5 की वैल्यू है function of 4 plus function of 3. So before finding 5, you have to first find 4. You have to first find 4. It will now call for 4. It will now call for 4. Now for finding 4, it will give 3 plus 2. It will give 3 plus 2. So now for finding function of 4, I will first for function of 3. Now for finding function of 3, it will give function of 2 plus function of 1. Now let's call function of 2. Function of 2 will be function of 1 plus function of 0. So from here you can see, guys, कि function of 1 और function of 0 की value क्या होती है? That we already know. कि function of 1 or function of 0 is n only. Whenever n will be less than 2, it will return n only. So function of 1 की value क्या होगी? 1. And function 0 की value क्या होगी? 0. So what will be the function of 2? Function 2 की value क्या होगी? 1 only. ठीक है? अब आते हैं फिर से नीचे. अब function 3 था function 2 plus function 1. So function 2 is already calculated. What was function 2? What was function 2? 1. अभी निकाला हमने. We just calculated कि function 2 is 1. We just calculated this thing. Okay? No, Vivek, I don't think it is required. Like simply n minus 1, n minus 2 is fine. I is not required here, okay? Like you can use also, but it's not required. अब देखो, अब function 2 की वैल्यू 1 है, function 1 की वैल्यू 1 है. तो function 3 की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी? 2. Now function 3 will become 2. अब देखो बात क्या है ना? You can see here कि again and again the same thing is calculated. Okay, you can see here, guys, कि function 3 value we have calculated, it was 2. अब here it is asking function of 2. So क्या हमने have I calculated already the function of function 2? See, we have already calculated value of function 2, which was 1. But what this function, this will do, it will again calculate. That is why the complexity is high. It will be 3. Now this 3 will be used here and it will be 5. So you can see the fifth Fibonacci number is 5. And that's the output. This is how the recursion will go. Actually, they will call again for again for same function, but it will not. Yeah, if we want a series, we will do some modification. In series, it's fine. Like in series, it's very easy. Simply take first two numbers, then for the next number, just add these two. Then for the next number, add these two. Then add these two. Like that, you have to just go on. For series, it's like quite easy. Okay, great. So yeah, Kunal, let's have a time complexity class also. Let's have a time complexity and mathematics class tomorrow. Yeah, recursion is upgradation of loops. So many of you may ask this, sir, why we use recursion? Loops is there. You can see, guys, I can say ki haan, like for this particular type of thing, when we have to print values from 1 to 5, in that case, recursion is not required. In this case, recursion was not required because we can do the same thing using loops also. But if you will see here in this part of where we are finding the Fibonacci series, we cannot do this thing using loops. ये चीज लूप की हेल्प से नहीं हो सकती है. For this thing, we have to do it using recursion only. इस चीज को हम सिर्फ recursion से ही कर सकते हैं. We can do it using recursion only. That is why recursion is very important. Okay. So guys, abhi we will like have recursion again when we learn backtracking and dynamic programming. So like in backtracking and dynamic programming, recursion will be again there. So like I can say that dynamic programming is nothing but there is a iterative form of dynamic recursion also. Okay, the iterative form, but basic it is recursion plus we memorize it to get it. Okay, that's the basic thing. And backtracking is nothing but that stack thing. When like you can see that when we are reversing the reverse order, like 1 to 5, then it was reverse 5 to 1. When we just change the way we are writing, it was printed in reverse order. So that is something we call like backtracking is something there. Like we will learn that concept also. It's a quite advanced concept, okay, of backtracking and dynamic programming. So guys, let's have tomorrow's class on time complexity plus mathematics. Okay, like there are some mathematics concepts there, like prime numbers and other concepts are there that are needed to be continued. After that, guys, for searching and sorting, guys, what I will do is I will provide you all some resources, because searching and sorting you will get multiple videos on internet which will explain you way better. Okay, बहुत सारे videos हैं. So for searching and sorting, you can get the videos from there and you can have problems, and we will have the problem solving class for searching and sorting. If you guys want, we will have a problem solving class for searching and sorting. Okay. So guys, the basic मैं आपको एक बार plan बता देता हूँ. The plan that I am currently thinking, okay. The plan, guys, that I am thinking is that tomorrow, which is like 11th of April, I will be having time complexity plus maths part. Okay. Now, guys, also you guys will be getting some notes of sorting and searching. That is like your homework. You have to do it by your own self. Okay. After that, guys, from 12th, Jwala will be taking the DSA classes. Jwala will take the DSA classes, and he'll be starting with the linked list topic. So linked list, then stack, then queue, priority queue, DQ, ये सारे टॉपिक्स आपके कवर होंगे वहां पर. ठीक है. सो गाइस, क्वेश्चंस थोड़े कम लग रहे हैं इस बूट कैम्प में. ओके, सो बिकॉज में बेसिक है. अभी वी विल हैव, वंस दिस बूट कैम्प इज फिनिश्ड, दिस चैनल विल नॉट स्टॉप. इन दिस चैनल we'll continue the series of problem solving and other things. Okay, don't worry. Because it's the thing, you have to cover all the concepts. So we are not solving much problems. We have to cover the syllabus also. Once the bootcamp is done, like once the DSA part is done, web development part is done, system design is done, CA subjects is done. Once this all is done, after that, guys, we'll be again moving forward to the next part, which is the problem solving part. So problem solving DSA questions, solving DSA problem will never stop. will be continued in its same channel. Okay, after a boot camp also, that's completely fine. Practice will not stop. Okay, great. So guys, let's conclude today only, like at this time only. It's not 1 hour, I know, but let's conclude for today. I hope that you have learned something new. Okay, on this recursion part, you will get the PPT and the notes. Okay, I will update it in the website. You can get it from there. Okay. So thanks guys, thanks for this class, and please try to attend class on time and thing. Like I can see the attendance is like, I know I have this experience a lot. मैंने बहुत जगह पढ़ाया है in GFG and other stuff also. In starting there are like multiple students are interested, but as the series goes on, the interest becomes like, okay. After, as I told you, Vivek, as I told you ki, like after time complexity and maths, searching sorting, I will provide the resources, and then from 12th, means from day after tomorrow, Jwala will be coming, and Jwala will be taking the class on linked list, stack, and queue. Okay. Hashing is a part that is left. Hashing is left. Okay, yeah, one more thing is there. Hashing and sets are left. So most probably Jwala hi hashing bhi lega. So I will ask Jwala for taking hashing. Okay, okay. Hashing is also left. That Jwala will take. Hashing means that maps and sets only. Okay. So great guys, great for today's class. Let's meet again tomorrow with the next class. Okay. Till then, like bye. Happy coding. Take care. Bye. And guys, do hit the like button and subscribe channel, please. Do hit the like button and subscribe channel, please. Okay.